morning, everybody.
Good morning.
That was whack. There's only 6 of us in here, but let's make a little bit of enthusiasm for your instructor and for yourself. Get your blood flowing. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Great rising.
Good rising.
Great rising.
Great rising.
Great rising.
All right, good stuff. So I have 2 important lectures, if you will, I want to get out to you, 2 messages before I have to leave at about 11:10 to catch a flight. But I want to give you all some game. One is high-level games, macro game. So when someone says macro, that's big picture. Micro is little picture. You get it, right?
Right.
Like micro braids, macro braids. Right, you get it. Yes, I'm looking at you. Yes, all right. All right, so here's a macro lesson that I want to give you guys. Our goal, because you guys are our leadership council, is that we want to mentor you as our next leader so you can lead our next generations, and we know that our future is in good hands. And in order to do that, you guys have to be macro thinkers and you have to be solutionists and be solution oriented. All right? So many years ago, I was a leader, but I was a misguided leader and a misguided youth and at-risk youth. And I ended up in prison in New York for selling drugs and carrying an illegal gun. And I did a year in prison in upstate New York. And when I was on work release in prison, so I would leave prison during the day. I was 19 years old. I'll be a security guard in Penn Station in New York at Smoothie King. The first time I ever seen Smoothie King was at 19 years old, 1999. I was a security guard there. I was real skinny, but they put me as a security guard. And I'm on work release, and after a month of work release, it was finally my day to go home. After a year in jail where I lost my freedom, where my daughter, who's older than you guys now, she's 23 years old, she was born while I was in prison, 1999. And I'm walking down the stairs of this work release facility in Harlem, New York, and this OG, it's probably somebody about my age now, taps me on the shoulder. It's like a movie. I'm walking down the stairs with a white bag. I got a white bag on my shoulder. I have my prison suit on. I'm walking down the stairs. The door to freedom is right there. Seriously, I walk out, I'm free again after a year. And I'm about to walk down the stairs, and an OG stopped me and handed me like a kind of a fortune cookie kind of little tagline. And it said on it, he said, "Young blood, I want you to have this." And it said on it, "There's no such thing as problems. There's only lack of solutions." You guys got that one? Repeat after me. There's no such thing as problems. There are only a lack of solutions. And that changed my life. I'm like, wait, so me, I want to disprove that. So I'm riding the train home from New York to New Jersey where I lived, and I'm thinking about it, that every single thing that we come up with as an obstacle or as a problem, it literally doesn't exist once you solve it. If you're thirsty, and it's a problem, and I offer you drink, and you drink, you don't have that problem anymore. The world, millionaires and billionaires and leaders, successful people, change agents, come to rise because they're filling a void, what most people call a problem. Jim Crow, segregation, oppression is still a problem, but was a really big problem in the 60s. And folks, unlikely folks, out of the rise, Huey P. Newton, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, ex-felon, and others came with a voice and solutions that solved that problem. Mm-hmm. This is where, if you're a social entrepreneur where you make your coin, if you are about legacy and impact, this is where you become legendary. This is your ability to solve problems. And the higher level problems you solve, the more value and worth you have in the world. It's just solving things. So, I was driving here, I never drive, but I was driving here, and there's a formula I want to give you all on this macro level of solutions, right? So the formula is this. Write this down on your sheets. V, T, it was VT, oh yes, VTSE. Oh, excuse me, it wasn't even an E. Where's my napkin? It wasn't even that complicated. It was a D, excuse me, VTSD. I love acronyms. It's an easier way to teach. The V. Vent. When you have a problem, you're a human. It's okay to vent. But there's a time and place to vent. Mm-hmm. If you vent forever, you're not just complaining. You're now just a victim. The wrong V. If you just talk about your impoverished home, your dad wasn't there, the man is on my neck, the system, this machine doesn't work, I'm thirsty. If you just sit around talking about I'm thirsty, but there's no waters here at all anywhere, there's no bottles of water, but you're thirsty. So what's your other options? There's no bottled waters here. What's your options?
Go get water.
You go get water? That's some new age thinking. I would think I'll just go to the bathroom and turn the faucet on and put my hand down and go. There's ice in the ice maker. I put it in my mouth. I let it melt. I quench my thirst. Mm-hmm. But if I just talked about how thirsty I am, or how broke I am, or how poor I am, or how I'm a three-time felon, or my dad left me at 3 months, and life is just so unfair, you never get to a solution. There's a time and place for venting. And you deserve to vent. You're a human. You have emotions. Life is hard. Life be lifing. The devil be deviling. But God be God in them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And solvers be solving. Mm-hmm. So you vent. Get it out. It's okay. You just can't stay stuck here or you become a victim.
Yes.
T. One of my biggest attributes. When I was young, everybody say think. When I was young, my grandmother, rest in peace, she had a statue in her house of a guy with his leg like this and his hand like this. And I would always be staring at it. Everybody said, Jay, that's you. The thinking man. I just be in a daze all the time, just by myself. I just be thinking. People talk too much. Wrong T. They talk before they think. So you're so into venting, so into talking, you're never thinking about the solution for the problem. Soon as I found out in 2015 that black people suffer from what Malcolm X said in 1965 during the Battle of the Bullet, 1963, that we suffer from political oppression, economic exploitation, and social degradation. I didn't know what oppression fully meant, so I Googled it. It's a burdensome treatment by a system of a people. Or a system or authority of a people. That's oppression. When somebody with authority burdens down a people of lesser authority. That's oppression. I knew what it meant in context clues, but if I don't know the word itself, I research the word till I know the word. I don't want to know the context. I want to know the actuality. So I looked at economic exploitation. And that's when you're being exploited or being over-leveraged or being extracted or being used or being abused, or right, economically. And then degradation was how we degrade ourselves or become degraded, or culture of degrading, a lack of dignity. So I instantly then figured out, I started thinking about if this big macro problem exists, and it still exists to this day, we're still fighting over red state or blue state, Democrat or Republican, but we're black. And Malcolm said the same thing 50 years ago. Then we haven't gotten to any real solutions. But we're still talking about let's build the Black Wall Street and haven't built any institutions. There's no solutions. So I treated my whole life, my own personal life. I was a 3-time felon. So after that first felony, I got 2 more felonies. So a 3-time felon by 21. But I still had to make a life for my life. So I had to come up with creative ways to approach life to solve my own solution of wanting to be successful, wanting to take care of my family, my daughter, wanting to make them proud, and wanting to make the most of my gifts. How do I do that even though I created all these hurdles for myself? So no matter what we're facing, school, college, whatever, think, and then we get to the S, everybody say solve.
Solve.
That's not everybody. Everybody say solve.
Solve.
Think, vent, get it out, think. When I say think, I'm talking about reverse engineer. Think about the outcome, and then how do we get there? Don't let the problem overwhelm you, intimidate you. Actually make it a game. Gamify it. That's fun. How can I actually figure, no matter what it is, so matter of fact, let's have some, at the end of the table. Okay, what's your name?
My name is Shemaya.
Queen Shemaya. Give me a problem you have or have had, or that you see in the world. Just give me a problem. Because I'm going to all you all. Think about it while she's going.
Lack of interest in school mandated tests.
Lack of interest in school mandated tests,
Like the PSATs.
like the PSATs. Now, your own personal lack of interest or collective lack of interest by students of that test?
Collective.
Gotcha. So, if someone came up with an interactive curriculum that was more relatable to students, but still hit the same points of gauging their aptitude, that could be a major opportunity. See, where problems are, opportunities exist. And the opportunity creators and makers become the leaders, become valuable. And I think that most schools and most parents and most children would agree with your point on that lack of interest, which then has more students not taking the test because of the lack of interest, or failing or doing worse on the test they should be doing, and then we're leaving a lot of talent on the table. Right? Part of the problem, a vestige of the problem. Queen, what's your name?
Lori.
Queen Milani. Give me a problem. Big or small, doesn't matter.
Messed up road.
Huh?
Messed up road.
Messed up roads? Messed up roads. Potholes. Jacked up roads. What do we do about it? Well, the person that created asphalt and concrete, they sure made a way, and there's possibly more creative ways. Back there, Dr. Leo's like, I got a whole thing for that. That was something that needed to be fixed, right? Just roadways in general. For faster transit, faster commute, faster moving of goods, we needed roads. We needed rail. People solve these problems to make importing and exporting and the fluidity of commerce and the fluidity of travel quicker travel. Somebody said, you know what? It'd be quicker if we could travel in the air. That seems unlikely for thousands of years. That seemed impossible. Think about that. It was literally impossible for thousands of years for human beings to fly in the air. Somebody solved that problem. And then people innovated that to make that better and solve problems within that problem. Or problems within that solution. Because that solution created new problems. Wait, what's your name?
Jordan.
Queen Jordan. What's your problem?
Homelessness.
Homelessness. It's a major problem. I went to San Diego the other day. They have a major homelessness problem.
Tent City.
It's so, the weather's so nice out there, the homeless is like, I don't want a home. I don't want to be in your shelter. It's better outside. They can't get rid of the shelters. So the shelter's not even the solution. How do you solve that? Some people are homeless because of jobs, because of life circumstance, because of drug addiction. Some are homeless because of just mental health, and it's like there's no lesson you can give them to get them. Some people need motivation. Some people need jobs. Some people need training and skills. Some people just are too mentally unhealthy or physically unhealthy to even do those things. So it's a very comprehensive problem. But the person that comes with a comprehensive solution to combat that problem, imagine a person that solves homelessness. And you can't say it can't be solved because we solved how to fly. Imagine a person that solves homelessness. Forget the money, because that's a vestige of the genius. Imagine them in the history books. Imagine their legacy. Imagine how pleased the Father is on high that somebody used a gift that he gave them, the life circumstances he gave them to solve homelessness. Certainly was least amongst us. Amazing.
Jared.
King Jared, that's right. Give me a problem, please.
The lack of diversity in engineering.
The lack of diversity in engineering. Another one. How do we create engineering pipelines? Engineering schools. How do we incentivize and make engineering cool, science cool? From kindergartens on up. So you reverse engineer, same old thing. I forgot your name already behind the camera.
Destin.
King Destin. What's our problem?
Lack of people graduating.
Lack of people graduating. Same thing. These are real systemic problems that people are not, there's micro solutions, there's macro solutions. So you can help people graduate right here in South Fulton, and you've done an amazing thing. Or you can figure out a system or process to help people graduate all throughout the world. Bigger solution. Bigger thought. I forgot your name again too. Anaya. Give me a problem.
More sex trafficked kids.
What's that?
More sex trafficked kids.
Sex trafficking kids? Yes. Sex trafficking, another problem. These are major things that we are not, but in life, we're going to be faced with major problems and every day. Little mini problems. Some people lose their whole freedom, their whole life, and mess up their whole day because somebody cut them off.
Yeah.
Somebody cut you off. It was quickly a problem. You slowed down. Now,
You cuss them out.
hold on. Before you cuss them out, before you get there, the problem was over once they cut you off and you safely stopped or slowed down and they kept going and now you're driving. The problem literally was over. Your cussing out was just for venting. But if somebody who doesn't have anger management then feels like the solve to that problem is to pull out a gun or chase a person down or throw a milkshake at them. Well, the only thing that did it just was a larger level event that created more problems. The problem already was solved. I don't get wrapped up into those kind of things. It's a waste of my energy and time to get wrapped up with somebody I don't even know, but you didn't even know because you made up a story in your head that cut you off because they were rude,
Yes.
or they were an a-hole, or because maybe they were white and you were black. You made the story up in your head, but you didn't know they cut you off because their daughter's in the back sick having a seizure. Or they cut you off because they lost their mother that morning and they're in a daze right now. You just almost created a whole situation out of your life, lost your peace, lost your energy over something that was already solved in 2 seconds because you got stuck in vent mode. How we use our energy is so important. Well, all these big problems to solve. Why are you stuck on a 3-second? Somebody bumped you. So we vent, we think, we solve, and the most important thing, you already know. We do. We do. Give me a high five too. That was you? We do. That's how you become a high-level value add. Everybody say value add. Say value add. Awesome. So you become a high-level value add in real life. So let me give you one quick other lesson, and we can open up for Q&A, or I'll just be done. So I want to give you a micro lesson now. All right, that was high level. How to make this practical? My blur here somewhere? Did we forget it?
Nice.
My snacks. Okay.
There's one right
Okay,
there.
let me just get a little sip. See, I'm thirsty. Problem. Solution. All right. So, here's a value add lesson I learned. Value add lesson. It's financially driven, but it applies to everything. But because money is usually many of our problems, this lesson solves a money problem for life. It's being a value add. There's a saying in real estate that no good deal will ever go unfunded. If you got a good opportunity, the money's going to find the opportunity. Why is that? Well, let's unpack that. And Dr. Layel, my big brother, is a scientist, an inventor, entrepreneur, many things. But because he's a problem solver as an inventor and scientist, like how many people here have actually screened from your phone onto your TV before? Raise your hand. You screened something from your phone on your TV. He invented that patent. Every phone and TV that does that is only can do that because of him. This man, this black man. In real life. Not 110 years ago, that's why we can't see, somebody get touched right now. Everybody go touch his shoulder. Get up, go touch his shoulder.
Your shoulder?
Yeah, touch him. A real scientist, a real inventor. That's right. Give me a handshake and touch the shoulder. Let's touch the shoulder of a giant right there. You too. I got the board. Go ahead. I got the board. Yeah. And you know why that is? You too, Ken.
Oh, that's my guy.
Yeah. Matter of fact, let him touch the shoulder too. Put my camera screen on his shoulder. My camera screen. Tap his shoulder with his camera screen. With the screen. No, with the screen. There you go. Yeah. They need it too. Why did I just do that? What problem did I just solve? Presence. I like that. Anybody else?
Shining.
That's good. Shyness for y'all. Think bigger. And you all mentioned it. One of you all mentioned it today. That's how brilliant I am. You just said we gotta make engineering cool. More engineers. You got a very successful black man sitting over there with a $100,000 watch on and a Porsche jacket looking fresh and fly, who's an inventor and engineer in our real life, who allows us to screen our phones on our TVs, and he's in our midst.
That's huge.
It's like sitting here with the Wright brothers, who created the plane.
Yeah. Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You don't get this opportunity. But seeing that allows more people online and more people in this room to believe they can be that too. Or better than that. That was one problem that was created. But guess what? I was taught in prison in 1998 by Suge Knight. But I was reading Vibe magazine, it was Suge Knight's article, but still. By Suge Knight, he said most people believe that I take a stone and I go kill two birds.
I get 2 birds with 1 stone.
Multi-thread thinkers, that's what my big brother taught me last night. Multi-thread thinkers say, well, I'm gonna take the stone and I'm gonna break it in half and kill 2 birds with each half. I'm gonna kill 4 birds with 1 stone where you only kill 2. I'm always thinking, how do I maximize every problem and every opportunity in everything I do? So not only did I help you all get rid of your shyness, I'm here to help you be leaders. So you can't be all scared about getting out of your chair and you're a leader. Who you leading? You're not ready to be a leader. You can't be willing to stand up and look somebody in the eyes. That's one problem we solved. Give you practice. 2, we got to make engineering and science cool. 3, we have a problem in our community where we don't edify each other and give each other our flowers while we're here. So I got to edify my brother in real time and show him the love that I feel for him and that we all should feel for him. 4, I got to lead to my audience I'm streaming for online and show them somebody that they follow and they admire how I am a servant leader, serving you all in leading and serving my brother in leading at the same time while I teach a whole lesson wrapped in this thing.
Yes.
Birds on birds on birds. I'm constantly thinking about solving problems. That's why I'll never go broke. I'm too big of a value add to everybody. So back to our value add lesson. In finance, most people have an issue in the world. So there's folks that have an issue trying to figure out how to make money. And then there's folks who have money, which are all of us. Some of us little money, some of us a lot of money. But are always trying to figure out, how can the money I'm making make more money for me? Right? Either you're trying to figure out how can I make money to survive, or you know what, I don't figure out the survival part. If I got 10 grand in the bank, but I got to do something with it. I got 100 grand in the bank. What am I gonna do with it? I had a lawsuit. I 300 grand. What am I gonna do with it? I had the lotto. What am I gonna do with it? Whatever it is, I went to the NBA draft. I'm a drug dealer. I got $500,000 on my mattress. Whatever it is, when you have excess money, you have a problem because money loses value if it doesn't earn. Dormant money, sleep money loses value because the cost of living constantly goes up. So everyone with money has a problem called the opportunity cost of money. That's what can I do with my money better than where it's currently at. Called opportunity cost. It applies to time as well. All of us only got so much time. Actually, it applies to time even greater than money. Because money you can print more of. Time you can't make more of. All got so much of it. So right now, at 10 a.m. on a Saturday, I have multiple things I can do with my time.
Yes.
I have to ask myself, what's my best opportunity time? You gotta ask yourself that. Every decision, hanging out with a friend, playing a video game, doing whatever. What's the best use of my time during this time? King Rick, please. My brother. Right? That's opportunity cost, a very valuable lesson. If you constantly ask myself of my time, of my friendships, of my love, of my energy, of my gift. I can do a lot of things with my gift. I'm a great author, I'm a great speaker, I got a lot of great gifts. And I ask myself, what's my best use in this world of my gifts? For 10 years, it was to be the same charismatic guy, the same great dresser, same handsome young man, same businessman, but for 10 years it was selling dope, and selling crack. Same gifts. I just use my time, my gifts in a poor opportunity. I use them to tear down like a parasite to suck and extract from my community. And now I use it in a way to symbolically give to my community. So, when it comes to money, how you come to value add is this. Check this out. If everyone, again, from 1 grand in the bank, because remember, if you have $1,000 in a checking account or $10,000 in a checking account, the bank only gives you 0.001% interest on that money. Like you make 10 cents a year on $10,000 in the bank. If you put $10,000 cash in the bank, it only earns you 10 cents a year. So, the person that's sitting on the extra 10 grand has a problem. What can I do with this 10 grand that makes me more than the 10 cents it's getting? The person that can solve that problem can always get that 10 grand. And make money with that person on that 10 grand. Or that 100 grand, or that 10 million. Or that 10 billion. If you have 10 billion sitting in the bank, it's losing you 8% every year. 1% of 10 billion is a billion. 8% of 10 billion is 800 million. So if you have 10 billion sitting in the bank, it's losing you 800 million a year. So, how can I work this 10 billion safely in a way that makes me greater than what I'm losing per year? So I can at least break even, if not make money on it. It's a big problem. It's an $800 million problem. Some financial institution, led by some financial genius, is going to solve how to arbitrage and leverage that 10 billion to eradicate that problem. And that person who's going to lose 800 million is certainly willing to pay that firm or that person hundreds of millions of dollars to get rid of my $800 million problem. Shoot, you get rid of half of it, I'm willing to pay you $100 million. I'm still up 3. Right? So here's how it looks in finance, right? And here's how we get there. It's a short lesson. Are you guys familiar with the term ROI?
ROI.
ROI. Anybody know what it stands for? Cool, perfect. It's the ROI lesson. That's where we start. This is how you get create money out of thin air for the rest of your life. These 2 points, opportunity cost and ROI. Everybody's the R is return. Everybody say return.
Return.
Say return.
Return.
Say it with your chest, return.
Return.
On.
On.
That's the O. The I is investment. Everybody say investment.
Investment.
Everybody say investment.
Investment.
Cool. So remember, if you put $10,000 in the bank, in your checking account, they give you 0.001% return on your investment. If you put it in a savings account, you might get 1%. So this person with 10,000 or 100,000 is looking at how do I get a greater return on my investment. When you figure out ways to solve that, it could be through real estate, it could be through science, it could be through any opportunity that you can present to someone that says, hey, I can make this work for you, right? Remember, opportunity cost is how something works for you better than where it's currently at. I can make this work for you better than where it's currently at. And for that, I want X, Y, Z in exchange. I want 50% of the profits. I want 20% of the profits. I want a flat fee, whatever that looks like. Because in business, fair exchange is no robbery. So whatever we agree to, someone may say, you know what? I'll give you $1,000 flat to solve this problem for me. Someone may say, listen, if you solve this problem, you can make this $10,000, make a 24% return, you keep 12%. I'll take 12. So it's always put you in a position, and if you have an idea you want to create, here's how you get your ideas funded. Is people are waiting on the sideline with capital that will invest in your ideas if you have a valid idea that shows them your idea can make them greater. Investing in your idea can make them greater than what you're currently at. So here's how we find ROI. This is your most valuable micro lesson, maybe of your life. So, very simple lesson. We got bottles of water on the table, right? Easiest lesson to teach ROI. You can teach it on high level real estate, you can teach it on anything, because it applies to everything we put money into, anything we invest in. A t-shirt line, barbershop, restaurant, a patent, all the same. Right now we're going to take a simple, this is a case of water. This is our case. Pardon my drawing, this is not my gift. Yeah, it's bad. I ain't gonna do that to myself. Hold on, a little better than that. I'm not gonna go out like that. I'm gonna at least give y'all a box case. Hold on. This is our case of water. All right. This is our case of 24 waters. How much do we pay for 24 waters on average? I can tell y'all parents do all the shopping. Y'all don't even help them with nothing. It is $4, if that.
I was gonna say it's not $4.
I thought it was about 8.
It's not. It's like
It is literally $4.
Hey,
It depends on if you go out.
depending on where you go. 4 to 6. Yeah. 4 to 6.
I'll give you 6.
Give them 6.
I'll give you 6. So I'm getting store brand. I'm a you know what I'm saying? I'm a frugal CEO.
Good at deciding.
You know that $5 for 40.
Yeah, $5 for 40 at BJ.
That's what I'm
You feel
talking
me?
about.
Problem solving, right? There's different. There is $8 case water.
There is.
There's also $5 for 40 waters. So we're going 5 for 40 right now. Bump that. I'm on the hood. We're gonna get this paper. So we got 40 waters for $5 at BJ's. This is why problem solving is so important. Most people always stop at the first thing they see and never consider any other variables. Oh, it's right here at the gas station. Duh, the gas station got a premium markup on their water. Huh? They do. The gas station waters are more than the waters in Publix.
Oh yeah, they are.
And the waters in Publix are more than the waters in BJ's. And the waters in BJ's are more than the waters if you own your own factory and produce your own water.
There you go.
Or had a water well on your land and had your own water off your own land for free. All kind of ways to solve these problems. Just don't get stuck in your first way, or you're stuck inventing. So we got 40 waters for $5, right? Cool. Now, if we're gonna sell waters, gotcha. If we're gonna sell waters on the street, how much do we sell a bottle of water for?
$1.
$1 per water. Cool, we'll come back to that. Now, to sell these waters, they need to be cold, correct?
Right.
So what do we need to sell cold waters on the streets? All right now, all we got is a case.
Cooler.
We need a cooler. How much a cooler cost?
$8. 12.
It depends on the cooler.
$8.
All right, $8 cooler.
It's like one from Star.
All right, what else we need?
Ice.
Oh, bye. How much is that ice?
99 cents.
99 cents.
$4.
It's about 99 cents.
I'm going two. I'm going two.
Get a bag.
All right, 2 for bag of ice. All right, good. Me, I go to a hotel and just get some bags and just. But that's okay. Free, but all right. $2. So this right here is considered our investment. All right. So how much is this, guys?
$15.
$5 plus $8 plus $2.
That's
15.
Then I was tripping.
$15. So $15 equals our investment into our water business. All right, that's our all-in cost. Everybody write that down. All-in cost or investment. Yeah. Cool. Now, we said we sell each water for $1 each. So how much is the most we can make from the waters?
$40.
40. We got 40 waters.
I'm thinking like.
I thought we had
Not yet. All right, so this right here, and I'm talking about everything, right? So whenever you're thinking about your top line revenue, we call it, or what's called your gross revenue, think of you throwing up, as gross as that sounds. When you throw up everything. When you make gross revenue, it's everything. It's all your revenue before expenses. So your gross revenue is your everything revenue before anything's taken out. So our gross revenue here is $40. That's our opportunity. It's $40. Now, that's in business. Whenever you hear a business, someone says, hey, it's my gross revenue. My gross revenue is $3 million a year. That's before you pay employees, before you pay taxes, before you pay business costs, before you pay marketing. That's everything, right? Gross means everything. Everybody say that. Gross means?
Gross means.
Everything. One more time. Gross means?
Gross means.
Everything.
Everything.
All right, so everything revenue, top line revenue. So 40 is our gross. Your net revenue, think of a net, is the money you make after your expenses. Is what you catch in the net after your expenses are paid.
$25.
Gotcha. So our expenses are what, 15?
Yes.
So this, right, these are our expenses, 15. So that means after the net filters out all our expenses, what's left in the net is?
$25. I mean.
She looking upside down, it's okay. Give her some grace. $25. $25 is our net revenue, right? So remember, gross is everything, net is what's caught after expenses. That's your net revenue, right? So, here's the opportunity and the opportunity. This goes for any business. Rental income, doesn't matter what it is, you take your everything revenue in that business, minus your expenses for that business, you're left with your net profit in that business. And then here's how you create money out of thin air. So in this case, we got $25 of net profit off our water hustle. The formula for finding an ROI is this. Net profit divided by your investment, your initial investment, the money you put in. You times that number times 100, and that will give you your ROI percent. You compare that ROI percent with wherever else your money is sitting at. So it looks like this. $25 is our net profit, right? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much is our investment?
15.
$15. $25 divided by $15. Whatever that is times 100. Do the math. Y'all got phones. You ain't got to think. Just put it in your phone. It's guaranteed to be right. If you just do that, it's guaranteed to be right. It's like no guessing. 25 divided by 15 times 100 is?
166.
What's that?
166.
166% return on investment. So here's the pitch. If you literally want to do this to create another $25 for yourself, now mind you, if you were to sell 4 of these cases in a day, that's 25 times 4. $100. Matter of fact, even more, because you don't gotta buy the cooler every single time. The cooler stays. So now that expense goes away,
Fixed cost.
which we call our fixed cost. So you have 166% return, but you need $15 to make this happen. Is it possible, mind you, because you don't have $15 to your name, is it possible for you to go to someone that has the $15 or the $150 or the $1,500 and say, hey, could you invest with me in this business or this opportunity, or could you give me a loan and I'll pay you back in a week? On the same money that you're getting 0.001% on, for this $15, I'll give you back 20%. 10% of 15 is $1.50. 20% is $3. If you were to give somebody back $3 on this, you still walk away with $12 after giving them $3. They made 20% on their money on loaning you $15. Greater than where it's currently at. You walk away with the rest and you begin to fuel your dream and fuel your idea. For them, you solved the problem and gave them a greater return than where their money was at. It looks silly when it's $15, but it looks amazing when it's $15 million. The zeros get longer. Same concept. So you solve their problem, opportunity cost of their money. You solve your own problem of starting a business and creating and getting capital for your business. You solve the problem for the customers on the street. They now have cold waters they get access to wherever you're selling your waters at. It solved the family problem of creating a business for you and your last name. This model of finding an ROI, this formula, net profit divided by investment times 100, and your ability to compare this number, ROI, of what you can bring to the table versus where somebody else has their money currently parked under a mattress, equity in their home, in their 401k, their IRA, their pension, their savings, their checking, their CD, wherever. That's your conversation to always be able to get somebody interested. And it works for outside of money. For your time, for anything you got. So whenever you guys are in a situation where you're trying to be a value add, think about where you can solve a problem and where you can be a gap fill for where someone has lack. And you can beat that lack out and still reciprocate fairly for yourself. So I want to give you a micro and macro lessons. This is your ROI formula. Use it for anything that you ever want to do to make the numbers make sense and be able to present to your parents or whomever, guardians, us, your mentors. And you got your macro 11. Don't get caught inventing. Be a thinker. Be a problem solver. And most importantly, be a doer. Just places for talkers, just places for thinkers, but a special place for doers, executors. All right? Thank you. Cool. Any questions? Before I have the J. All good?
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you. Everybody fed. Thank you. Boom.